Young millionaire marries a poor farmer's daughter. Her hidden identity stuns him. Lucas Marshall never imagined that a simple bet could change the course of his life so drastically. He was a man who lived for the thrill of the gamble, the rush of adrenaline that came with high stakes. Money, power, and prestige were his playground, and he ruled them with an almost arrogant ease. He'd built a financial empire by the time he was 30, a testament to his sharp mind and ruthless ambition. But beneath the polished veneer of success lurked a deep-seated loneliness, a void he tried to fill with fleeting pleasures and superficial connections. His latest acquisition, a sprawling vineyard nestled in the heart of Napa Valley, was just another trophy, another symbol of his dominance. He surveyed his kingdom from the balcony of his newly acquired mansion, a glass of vintage Cabernet Sauvignon swirling in his hand. The rolling hills, bathed in the golden light of the setting sun, should have brought him peace. Instead, they echoed the emptiness within him. It was at this moment, amidst the breathtaking beauty of his latest conquest, that his best friend, Jake, proposed a bet that would not only test Lucas's limits but would ultimately force him to confront the man he truly was, a man hidden beneath layers of wealth and arrogance. This seemingly harmless wager would lead him down a path he never expected, a path that would challenge everything he thought he knew about himself and about love. And it all started with a simple, audacious question. Could Lucas Marshall, the young millionaire, win the heart of a poor farmer's daughter? Jake's words hung in the air, thick with playful malice. I bet you can't do it, Lucas. I bet you can't charm your way into the heart of a woman who's completely outside your world. Lucas scoffed, swirling the wine in his glass. Is that all you've got? A simple dating challenge? Please, Jake, I could have any woman I want. Not just any woman, Jake countered, a glint of challenge in his eyes. I'm talking about Khloe O'Connell. She works at the local farmer's market, sells her family's produce. She's different, Lucas. Down to earth. Real. Not like the socialites you usually chase after. Lucas's interest was piqued. Khloe O'Connell. He'd seen her at the market a few times, a splash of vibrant color amidst the rows of vegetables. She had a quiet strength about her, an independence that intrigued him. And what exactly are the terms of this challenge? He asked, a smirk playing on his lips. Simple, Jake said. You have 1 month. No using your money or influence. You have to win her over with your charm, your wit, your genuine self. If you succeed, I'll donate $1 million to your favorite charity. If I fail, Lucas finished, a flicker of competitiveness igniting within him, I double the donation, and I have to give up my prized vintage Aston Martin for a month. Deal? Jake extended his hand. Deal. The handshake sealed the wager, setting in motion a chain of events that would irrevocably alter Lucas's life. He knew he was playing with fire. Khloe O'Connell was not just another conquest. There was something about her that made him uneasy, a sense of authenticity that challenged his carefully constructed facade. He knew this bet was different. It wasn't just about winning. It was about something more, something he couldn't quite define. Khloe, on the other hand, was blissfully unaware of the wager that had been placed upon her heart. She lived a simple life, dedicated to her family's farm and her passion for sustainable agriculture. She was a breath of fresh air in the materialistic world Lucas inhabited, a stark contrast to the women he usually pursued. She valued honesty, hard work, and genuine connection, qualities that were foreign to Lucas, yet strangely alluring. Their worlds were about to collide, and neither of them could have predicted the consequences. The emotional stakes were high, not just for Lucas, but for Khloe as well. She had her own vulnerabilities, her own dreams and fears, hidden beneath a strong and independent exterior. Unbeknownst to her, she was about to become a pawn in a game of love, a game that could either break her heart or open it to a love she never thought possible. Lucas, true to his nature, approached the challenge with calculated precision. He started by frequenting the farmer's market, observing Khloe from a distance, studying her mannerisms, her interactions with customers, the way she smiled. A genuine, unadulterated smile that made his heart skip a beat, a sensation he hadn't experienced in years. He learned her routine, her favorite coffee, black, no sugar, her passion for organic farming. He even started buying produce from her stall, engaging her in conversations about sustainable agriculture, pretending a genuine interest he didn't quite possess. His initial strategy was to charm her with his wit and charisma, the same tactics that had worked countless times before. But Khloe was different. She wasn't impressed by his expensive watch or his tailored suit. She was polite but reserved, her eyes holding a hint of skepticism. She saw through his superficial charm, sensing the shallowness beneath the surface. This was a new experience for Lucas. He was used to women falling at his feet, eager for his attention. Khloe's indifference, her quiet strength, was both frustrating and intriguing. As he spent more time with Khloe, he found himself drawn to her genuine nature, her unwavering belief in her values. He started to see the world through her eyes, appreciating the simple beauty of nature, the satisfaction of hard work, the importance of community. He even helped her at the farm a few times, awkwardly navigating the muddy fields, learning about planting and harvesting. He discovered a different side of himself, a side he had long suppressed beneath layers of arrogance and ambition. But the bet still loomed over him, a constant reminder of his deceit. He felt a growing sense of guilt, a feeling he hadn't experienced in years. He knew he was playing with Khloe's emotions, manipulating her trust for his own gain. The internal conflict was tearing him apart. He was falling for her, genuinely falling for her, but the lie he was living threatened to destroy everything. The external conflicts were just as challenging. Khloe's family, particularly her older brother Liam, was suspicious of Lucas. They saw him as an outsider, a rich city boy who was just playing games with Khloe's heart. Liam made it clear that he wouldn't hesitate to protect his sister, adding another layer of tension to the already complicated situation. Meanwhile, Jake was enjoying Lucas's struggles, constantly reminding him of the bet, subtly pushing him to continue the charade. He even introduced Lucas to some of Khloe's old friends, trying to dig up dirt on her past, looking for any vulnerabilities Lucas could exploit. But Jake's prodding only fueled Lucas's guilt. He refused to stoop to such tactics. He was starting to respect Khloe too much. As the weeks passed, Lucas's feelings for Khloe deepened. He found himself looking forward to their conversations, their shared moments of laughter, the way her eyes lit up when she talked about her dreams. He was no longer pretending. He was genuinely falling in love. But the closer he got to Khloe, the more difficult it became to maintain the facade. The guilt was eating away at him, threatening to expose his secret. He knew he had to tell her the truth, but he was terrified of losing her, of shattering the trust they had built. He was trapped in a web of his own making, caught between his love for Khloe and the terms of the bet. One evening, while they were working late at the farm, Khloe confided in Lucas about her past. She told him about her struggles, her dreams of expanding the farm, her fear of not being good enough. She revealed a vulnerability he had never seen before, a fragility that touched him deeply. He realized that she was just as scared and insecure as he was, despite her strong exterior. In that moment, he knew he couldn't keep the secret any longer. He had to tell her the truth, no matter the consequences. "Khloe," Lucas began, his voice trembling slightly, "there's something I need to tell you, something I should have told you a long time ago." He took a deep breath, the cool night air doing little to calm his racing heart. He looked into her eyes, those honest, kind eyes that had captivated him so completely. Our relationship, it started with a bet." The words hung in the air, heavy and suffocating. Khloe's expression didn't change immediately. She simply stared at him, her eyes searching his as if trying to discern the truth from the lie. "A bet?" she finally whispered, her voice barely audible. Lucas explained everything, the initial wager with Jake, his calculated approach, the growing guilt, and his eventual realization that he had fallen in love with her. He laid bare his deceit, exposing his flaws, his arrogance, his vulnerability. He expected anger, tears, accusations. He braced himself for the inevitable rejection, but Khloe remained silent, her face unreadable. She turned away from him, her gaze fixed on the moonlit fields. The silence stretched, thick with unspoken emotions. Lucas's heart pounded in his chest, each beat a painful reminder of his betrayal. Finally, Khloe spoke, her voice flat, devoid of emotion. "You're not the only one with secrets, Lucas." Lucas frowned, confused. "What do you mean?" Khloe turned back to him, her eyes now filled with a sadness that mirrored his own. "My family, we're not just simple farmers. My father, he used to be a very wealthy businessman. He made a lot of money, but he also made a lot of enemies." Lucas listened intently as Khloe recounted her family's past. Her father, a successful entrepreneur, had built a business empire, but his ruthless tactics had earned him powerful adversaries. One night, their house was firebombed. Her mother was killed in the fire. Her father, devastated by the loss, decided to leave the city, to escape the violence and start a new life in the countryside. He changed his name, bought a small farm, and dedicated his life to rebuilding his family. "He wanted to protect us," Khloe explained, tears welling up in her eyes. "He wanted to give us a peaceful life, away from the greed and corruption that had destroyed our family." Lucas was stunned. He had no idea. He had seen Khloe as a simple farmer's daughter, completely unaware of the complex past that lay hidden beneath her quiet demeanor. But the biggest shock was yet to come. "Jake," Khloe continued, her voice trembling. "Jake is my cousin." Lucas's mind reeled. Jake, his best friend, the man who had proposed the bet, was Khloe's cousin? It didn't make sense. "But why?" he stammered. "Jake knows about my family's past," Khloe said. "He knows about the dangers we're still facing. He wanted to test you, Lucas. He wanted to see if you were genuine, if you truly cared about me, or if you were just another opportunist drawn to my family's money." The revelation hit Lucas like a ton of bricks. The bet wasn't just a game. It was a test, a carefully orchestrated plan to expose his true intentions, and he had failed miserably. He had proven Jake's suspicions correct. He was exactly what they thought he was, a shallow, arrogant man, driven by greed and ambition. Khloe's words cut through him like a knife. "You passed the first part of the test, Lucas. You charmed me. You made me believe that you cared. But you failed the most important test. You lied to me. You betrayed my trust." The pain in her voice was unbearable. Lucas felt a wave of shame wash over him. He had hurt her deeply and irrevocably. He had broken the trust that she had so cautiously given him. He had confirmed her worst fears about him. He had become the very thing she was trying to escape, a symbol of the corrupt and deceitful world that had taken her mother away. Lucas stood there speechless, the weight of his actions crushing him. He knew words were useless. Apologies were meaningless. He had to show Khloe, not tell her, that he had changed. He had to earn back her trust if that was even possible. He didn't try to defend himself. He didn't offer excuses. He simply nodded, acknowledging the truth of her words. "I understand," he said, his voice hoarse. "I understand why you feel this way." He turned and walked away, leaving Khloe standing alone in the moonlight. He didn't go back to his mansion. He didn't go back to Jake. He went to the small guest house on the farm, the one he had used when he was pretending to be a simple farmhand. He spent the night there, alone with his thoughts, replaying every moment he had shared with Khloe, every lie he had told, every opportunity he had missed to be honest with her. The next morning, he went to the farmhouse. He found Khloe in the kitchen preparing breakfast. She looked up at him, her eyes still filled with sadness, but there was also a flicker of something else, something he couldn't quite decipher. He didn't say a word. He simply started helping her, quietly and efficiently, just like he had done when he was trying to impress her. He worked alongside her all day, tending to the fields, repairing fences, doing whatever needed to be done. He didn't try to talk to her about the bet. He didn't try to explain himself. He just worked, demonstrating through his actions that he was willing to change, to be the man she thought he was. Days turned into weeks. Lucas continued to work on the farm, not as a visitor, but as a part of the family. He earned the respect of Khloe's father and brother through his hard work and genuine commitment to the farm. He even started to rebuild his relationship with Jake, apologizing for his deception and explaining that his feelings for Khloe were genuine. Jake, seeing the change in Lucas, eventually forgave him. Khloe remained distant, observing him, watching his every move. She saw the genuine remorse in his eyes, the quiet dedication to the farm, the way he interacted with her family. She saw the transformation, not just in his words, but in his actions. One evening, as they were working in the fields, Khloe stopped and looked at him. "Why are you doing this, Lucas?" she asked, her voice soft. "Why are you still here?" Lucas looked at her, his heart filled with love and hope. "Because I love you, Khloe," he said, his voice sincere. "And because I want to earn your forgiveness. I know I hurt you, and I know I don't deserve a second chance. But I'm not the same man I was before. I've learned a lot from you, from your family, from this farm. I've learned the importance of honesty, hard work, and genuine connection. I'm not asking you to forgive me. I'm just asking for a chance to show you that I've changed." Khloe looked at him for a long moment, her eyes searching his. Finally, she smiled, a small, hesitant smile that filled Lucas with hope. "Maybe," she said. "Maybe you've changed. Share your thoughts in the comments below.